What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Hype. So, yeah. I mean, look, this is the PlayStation Nation is still going crazy. Sony was silent, and then yes, 2 days ago I think it was, or yes, whenever it was, they decided to say something on Twitter. That didn't go well because they didn't say anything on Twitter. They trying to sell you a physical joystick, fight stick. People are like, and then they're like, oh, check out these games and PS Plus. I'm like, yo, y'all, they're not understanding. And you know, they say, oh, they weren't expecting the backlash, the reaction. I'm like, yeah, well, now that you know, you see what the reaction is, what you gonna do? And they're not gonna do nothing. I spent the last couple of hours listening to Sacred Symbols because it's like 4 or 5 hour long podcast. So I'm like, let me see what these guys got to say, because they're ponies, you know, very intellectual, I guess, ponies, but still ponies nonetheless. And they see the treachery that PlayStation is in. They see the downward spiral. They just have a way of saying it that isn't too damning, but at the same time, they're pretty matter of fact about it. But I'm not even want to talk about that. If you guys want to listen to what they got to say, you can listen to them. They're still, you know, like most of these ponies and donkey unicorns, they're still doing the thing where, oh, PlayStation, oh my god, this sucks, blah blah blah, and then they talk about Xbox. Oh, Xbox, they gave up this. Oh, the Xbox is the worst. And they, like many other people, are underestimating what Xbox is about to do. Now they're getting their house in order right now, right? But Asha ain't playing. Asha's gonna come through, and she's doing some stuff. And everything, I said this since the jump. When she started talking, I was like, I like everything this woman is saying. And then she started doing stuff. I like everything this woman is doing. Now, firing the people sucks, but necessary, yes, because of reasons. Because, you know, that's where the gray area is. Is it because she's just looking at numbers and not basically skills? Or, you know, is she looking at dates, like who's been here longest? Are you making more than the other person that's basically doing the same job? Who's better at the job? I mean that would take forever with the amount of employees that they have. I believe it's like 17,000 Xbox employees. But you know what? She's the boss. She's gonna do what she gotta do, right? And I mean that one Bethesda employee, that was a piece of shit. Talking about they holding up a cartridge of the Outer Worlds 2, the PlayStation version, and it was signed. I don't know who signed it. Maybe he signed it, or she. And they saying, "Oh, shitty Xbox. I hate Xbox." Blah blah. I'm like, that's why you got fired, bitch. I'm just saying. I don't know. But yeah, and they call them a B because that's kind of the behavior that they're exuding. So you're gonna act like one, you're gonna get called one. You could just be like, I got fired. Oh well, time to move on. See what's the next in my chapter of life. You know how they always say that. But no, they got to be like, oh look, I'm gonna hold this up, because I'm like, okay, you're just trying to start something, I guess. You burn that bridge, burn it twice, because that's what you just did. You're not gonna work for Microsoft anymore. They got a lot of money to pay, but you know, I guess you weren't good enough, or I don't know what it was. Like, what did you do on Outer Worlds 2? I guess it wasn't enough. Cause you ain't there. Anyway, I'm sorry. So in that instance, listen, you could be mad. You know what? I don't know all the details, so I'm gonna let them show their face, and then I guess karma, if you still believe in that stuff or whatever, come back around for them, or Microsoft, whoever. Anyway, didn't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is these PlayStation and Sony CEOs. Now, I don't know if y'all know what happened. And I found out yesterday because of King. I was like, boo, boo, boo. Let me turn on King. King's on real quick. I turned him on. He's live. I was like, boo. I turned him on. He's right in the middle of breaking down how all these C-suite fools are selling their Sony stock. I'm like, hold up. Last time that happened, Jim Ryan, he was gone. Now, I'm not saying these people are gone because they didn't sell all. I think Hiroki Totoki was in Nishino, but they both sold stock. But one of them sold 56% of their stock, got $4 million and change. And then another one sold some for $1.8 million or something. You know, there's three of them that King highlighted, and I'm like, I mean, it probably isn't insider trading, but it's like they announced the thing. Yeah, we're gonna stop doing this, and all those shareholders like, yeah, all the board members, yeah, that's cool. It's like, oh, everybody like that. Let me sell my stock. Went up 3%. They sold. Make that extra cash. I don't know how much money they got because Sony stock ain't worth that much. It's 21. Last time I looked, it was $21 and change. So it was 3% of that. I don't even know what that is. What was 3%? It was a couple bucks or something. It was like 19, 18. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, it was a little higher, but I don't. Yeah. And they didn't sell it all. Well, he did. Well, one of them didn't. So I guess it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is like, you see what's happening, right? They're making these moves. They're cutting off the physical media. Nobody likes it, but they don't care because they made their money. The stock went up. They made sales. Boom, boom, boom. They got a cool almost 5 million. Other people got 1 million here, 2 million there, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're good. And I think the stock went down by then, but and so I'm like, yo, how? Look, this is this is Sony. This is what Sony's doing. This is what they want to be. And then I listening to y'all. I mean, I told y'all before, it's like PlayStation don't care about y'all. They care about money. Money. I like money. That's all they care about. And they're gonna continue to care about that. And I heard, so who was it? I can't remember who it was, but someone said, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of right. But someone said ever since they moved their headquarters from Japan to, I believe it's California, that's when things started turning for the worse in a way. It took a while to get where it is now, but it happened. That's when the turn happened. And honestly, I won't blame that entirely, but I think the PS3 generation leading up to that, and then the switch over was the impetus, I think, because like Ken Kutaragi, he's the man. He's the one who created the original PlayStation and the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3, and that was his era. He made the PlayStation 3 so ridiculously difficult to code for. And he did that by design. He did that on purpose. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to make this easy so the devs will be easy. No. He's like, nah, bro. You got to work. You got to work to get what you want out of this bad boy. And when you do, it looks nice. And that was the whole thing. It's like only like the people who knew how to do it, which was usually the Sony guys, they would get the best. Like you Naughty Dog and all these, Insomniac, all of them got the best out of the PlayStation 3 because, that's their console. But third party were like, what the hell is this? And Ken didn't care. Ken was like, nah, bro, you want to buy those exclusives? The exclusives are going to be real good on the PlayStation 3. And that was kind of his whole philosophy. And basically, devs need to work harder. Not work smarter, but just they got to work hard to get it right? To get them some results. And that was I think a lost kind of thinking, a lost philosophy on many, because a lot of the, I don't know if this is true, but to me, like a lot of the third party, they weren't all Western. Most of them were Western. What am I talking about? I mean, there's a few like Capcom and whatever that weren't, and Bethesda had trouble with the PlayStation 3. The only games that were really good on the PlayStation 3 were first-party exclusives, but there was nothing to compare them against because it only existed on that console. If something like Uncharted or Resistance appeared on the Xbox, it probably would have ran better. Just saying. So, yeah, that was bad. All right, this tangent, I don't know why I went on this tangent, but it's really about the change of PlayStation, how it was before. PlayStation 1 and 2, they were cool. They were just they were doing their thug dizzle. They were leading the industry. PlayStation 3, they slipped on a couple of banana peels, and that's when they switched also to using the metric of console sales. Now, they've always used that, but they abused that system because they continued to sell the PlayStation 3 up until, when was it? Was it like 20? It was well after 2013. That's when PS4 came out. So I think it was 2017, something. It was 2 or 3 years after the launch of the new consoles, and that's how they caught up to Xbox. And they've been doing it ever since. PlayStation 4, I think they're still selling them, aren't they? Maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But, we're sitting here. It is days, a week or so after their announcement, and they still haven't apologized. They still haven't gone back on it. They're not going to go back on it. And I'm listening to all these ponies and all these donkey unicorns trying to rationalize what may happen. And that's why I listen to Sacred Symbols, because I want to hear what these guys got to say, right? And so they did bring up a couple of points. One of them was the handheld, the PlayStation handheld. And I was like, oh yeah, the handheld. Now, the handheld is going to be digital, unless they do a card slot like the Switch, which is dumb. It'll have an SD card slot, obviously, because everything has that. But I don't think they'll do that. But so I was like, okay, so that, like, the whole announcement of the physical media ending and stuff in January 2028 leads us to believe that the PlayStation 6, whatever that is, I'm going to say it's the handheld, is going to launch 2028. They're saying, Colin and Chris Reagan, saying, oh, yes, at earliest spring 2028, probably, fall 2028. I mean, it's still possible for fall 2027, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, not at those prices. And like, okay, so if you have the PlayStation Portable, the Vita 2, whatever they're going to call it, it's literally a PlayStation 5, and they're going to try to push it out as a PlayStation 6. Don't be fooled, because remember, they're doing the low power mode on PlayStation 5s, which is exactly what this new portable will be doing. So when that comes out, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a low powered handheld PlayStation 5, and they're going to call it something else, and it's like, oh, this is the bridge between the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 6. I don't know what they're going to say, but it's just, that's the next thing that they're coming out with. That it's going to be that, right? And so, but a lot of ponies and donkey unicorns are saying that this is a portable PlayStation 6 and the console. And I don't think that's true. And if it is true, then the PlayStation 6 it's just merely an overpowered PlayStation 5. It's a PlayStation 5 Pro. Just like the PlayStation 5, it's a PlayStation 4 Pro. Same thing. That's why it's so easy to develop for, because it's literally the same console. Just like extra power. Click a button here. PS4 mode, click a button there. PS5 mode, click a button here. PS6 mode, click a button here. Low power PS5 mode, click a button here. Maybe they'll have a low power PlayStation 6 mode, but I think they'll have two variations of that. They'll have a PlayStation 5 Lite, PlayStation 6 Lite, or Mini, whatever they're gonna call it. But the whole date kind of leads us to believe it's not coming out until 2028. And so I'm like, oh yeah. And then what they're doing is they're copying Nintendo. Again, they've done this before with the PlayStation Eye and all that stuff. So now they're coming out with a Switch, a PlayStation Switch. It's called like the PSS. And I I've always said that they are creatively bankrupt. They've been that way for years, and now we're seeing it because it's like, what? Why are you whatever? And so now they have a low power. That's the only way they can keep the cost down is to have a low powered PlayStation 5 and a handheld. But at the same time, it's like, is it really going to cost less than like the Whiteboard ROG Ally, which is $600 right now? So I think that portable PlayStation 5 thing that they're going to put out probably going to be $799, at least $899 probably. And then the actual console will be over $1,000, be $1,200, something like that. You know, probably more depending on like the RAM and stuff. But yo, look, I was laughing at something. Domino said something again. Somebody ordered digital pizza or something, and I'm like, yo, they are not giving up. Look, I don't know if y'all realize, this has never happened before. Like, we said this many times this generation. We said, oh man, the price hike has never happened. It never went up, it never been this expensive, right? What Sony's going through, well, first off, Sony, never forget Concord. I guess Concord was a precursor. It's like, yo, Concord, yeah, we're going to just make the worst game ever. We're going to put it out. We're going to lose a lot of money. It's going to be the worst failure. Thank you. Okay? That's us. That's Sony. People are doing memes. Greed has no limits. And what was the other one? I forgot the other one. But I'm like, yo, it's like, I spoke to 2 different people today. And they're like, yo. And they know about tech and they follow stuff, but it's not like, you know. So I'm like, how long is it going to take until the actual casuals? I think that might have happened already because they were on CNN, wasn't they? What's his name? I forgot his name. He was on CNN or something, or Fox News or something, talking about, yeah, man, digital. They were talking about the digital, no more digital disc. I'm like, how was he? Okay. Oh, all right. So yeah, Sony being silent, not gonna happen. It's not gonna go away. And then I thought about this before. This I don't even want to say it because it's such a good idea that might save them. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I would say the only thing that would save PlayStation is if they come up and they already announced. And people ignored it. Nobody said nothing about it. They said, "Oh, you'll be able to order previously released games for the PlayStation 5 discs or whatever, blah blah blah. You know, past the 28th or whatever, past 2028." And I was like, nobody cares about that. Nobody. We talking about PlayStation 6. And so that's where the handheld thing comes out, and it's like, oh, it's a handheld. Of course, it doesn't have physical media, so people are gonna be like, yeah, okay, sure. But when the console comes out, what's it gonna be? You know, is it gonna be, depending on when it comes out, are they gonna be like, oh yeah, I guess they'll have enough time to see if people are still upset. If they're not, throw a little hard drive on it. Can they do that because they didn't plan for it? Blah blah blah. I mean, Cerny's a smart guy. He could figure it out. Just put in a USB thing. But the thing is like, not having disk drive. Not having a disk drive solves a lot of problems for them as far as money, the ability to control the price, the store, and also what happened with the PlayStation 5 is that it got hacked. It got opened up through the disk drive, through some Star Wars game. I can't remember what game it was. And I'm like, yeah, they're trying to avoid all those things and reap the benefits of monopolizing a storefront. So yeah, this is bad news for PlayStation. And I swear these people, like Dreamcast guy and everybody else, trying to be, not everybody else, but a lot of people are trying to be negative on Xbox, negative. I'm like, I mean, you could try, but the bad news came out and it didn't have an effect. It was like, shit, like what happened? Oh yeah, PlayStation, they're bad guys now. And I think Colin said something like that. Oh, maybe they could do something and they can be the good guys again. He said that. And I was like, oh, so that means that Sony's the bad guys right now. Oh. That's not good. Man, I'm so happy. I'm smiling. I'm exhausted right now. It's so hot. It's like 1,000 million degrees outside. That's why I got the AC on and loud. But I don't care, because I'm looking at posts. And I flipped through Gaz's show. I think who was on there? It was Zalker and Fonz again. And they were talking about what game cost them 100. Oh, it was freaking the Rare game, Everwild. They're like, oh, they spent $100 million on that thing and nothing came of it and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, look, I mean, we could do the same thing on PlayStation side, right? What's worse? You spend $100 million, you know, on a game that doesn't come out, or you spend over $400 million on a game that does come out and fails spectacularly and ruins the reputation of studio. I mean, the studio's gone. That's how bad it was, and it hampers it smittens the reputation. Not smittens. It diminishes the reputation of the parent, the mothership, PlayStation. Now, PlayStation, they have stepped on the biggest blue rake in the garden. They went around all the other rakes, like, don't, that's a green one, that's a green one. There's a nice big blue one. And they went with both feet, jumped up in the air, go blish, and it's like a blank. And I think they still got a concussion from that because they haven't said anything of substance since. I don't think they will. I don't think they care. And they don't have anybody there to talk to the audience. You notice that? Sid Schuman's doing all the blog stuff because that's his job. He's the communication dude, and he's always on the State of Plays. And I'm like, oh yeah, Sid Schuman. He's been there since like PS3, I think. But I'm like, so why isn't anybody saying anything? Like, y'all are just like, they're literally ignoring what's going on. You know, I'm like, they put the thing with the controller. I'm like, okay. Then they thing with the PS Plus. I was like, all right, we still waiting. We still waiting. What you got to say? Yo, if they don't say anything, this is gonna keep continuing. I'm gonna work on the song tonight. I'm gonna try to get that out by the end of this week because I don't want to miss this opportunity. Because we gotta have some songs about Sony messing this up. No more physical. People are cynical. Man. It's pretty. I like this rhyme scheme better than the theme for the show. Beat's not as good, but I like the it's cool. It's nice. I think the BPM is 125. Anyway, but yeah, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I gotta get some grublets in my belly. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Nishi, whatever his name is, and Hiroki Totoki cashing out. Getting paid, yo. They're like, oh, the misfortune of our customers brings us fortunes. Let's go and celebrate. So yeah, man, that's kind of messed up. I'm just saying. They up there smiling, them C-suites, boy. They're like, he. I don't think Herman Holtz. I don't think he was in that list. He should have been. Maybe he doesn't have stock. I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, what could they announce that would be positive? I think right now, right, we're at a spot, right? So Xbox just got the bad news out of it, and there's gonna be some, other layoffs during the rest of the year. I mean, honestly, I wish it would all happen at once, but they can't do that because of the way that France laws and stuff and Arcane and stuff. So they got to kind of wait for that. I'm sure there are gonna be people laid off over there as well. They kind of shrinking, stripping the fat all around. So like, no one is safe, if you will. But I'm like, what can Xbox do? I think the only thing that they can do that would be catastrophic is to literally announce saying, yeah, we're going to do digital only anyway too as well. That would be horrible. Don't do that. And everybody keeps saying, yo, announce a disk drive plugin. Announce you can plug in any disk drive and it'll work. And it spins, bip, it reads the disk, and then boom. then you could go to the store and get your digital thing. I don't know. I mean, they have like copy protection things on these disk drives too, so I don't know if that's an issue. They have to have it that way so that I don't even know. I don't even know what the purpose of that would be. Like, I would say the only purpose of having that is that you couldn't put any third-party disk drive on your console to run stuff. But I mean, that would be, it would just, whatever. I'm too tired to just try to think through that. But yeah, I mean, they need to be smart. They need to take advantage of this windfall. This is like, yo, Sony messed up so hard. This is like the worst ever in PlayStation history, and people are saying this is worse than what Xbox did in 2013. And I kind of think I kind of agree. And honestly, it's like what PlayStation did wasn't as, it's egregious, but it's egregious on many different levels because of what it implies and what it signals. But like how they said it wasn't offensive. It was just like matter of fact, like, yeah, we're gonna stop, but don't worry about it. The game's up to that point. You still get the games. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, people still want their games, and also all the other reasons why you shouldn't do it, because you're a monopoly and you don't care about the stuff, and you're in a price fix, and that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, so yeah, they stepped in it hard, and they have lost a lot of cachet. Their reputation is going down the tubes. The longer they don't say anything, the worse this is going to get. And it's up to us. Call to arms. It is up to us to continue to keep the boot, as King says, keep the boot on Kong's neck, yo. I'm working on some music. I'm gonna try to get it out. I'm gonna try to finish it. I'm gonna try to finish writing it today, and I'm gonna start spitting the bars tonight. Because I like to spit like a first draft, and then I'm like, okay. And sometimes I hit the first draft first time, like, yo, okay, that's boom, got it. Sometimes I'm like, I kind of stumbled on that word, I want to change the melody or here, so I run through it. It's not set in, I mean, the words are written, and I got a kind of a flow, but I want to kind of explore the possibilities and stuff. Then you got to do little ad-libs and stuff and doubles, whatever, But I haven't written a second verse yet, and I need to get the hook right. So, I still got some writing to do. The music is there. I still want to tweak that up too. But yeah, I'm going to work every day. What's today? Wednesday? I'm going to work every day this week up until the weekend and try to get it done. Because it's necessary. We got to keep pressure. It's not even pressure to make them change. It's pressure to make people not forget. We got to keep that energy up. We got to switch. We got to be like, Sony's bad. Xbox ain't so bad. Look at that. Oh, snap. Xbox is actually excellent. Thank you. And then Fable. Smacking. Freaking Halo's about to come out. Come on, son. We got all these games. What PlayStation got? PlayStation got no game. They got Wolverine. I don't know. Is that going to be canceled? People going to cancel that too? People cancel GTA. They're going to cancel Wolverine? Anyway, we'll see. I talk to y'all next one too. To wait.